Okay, so in my opinion, I've done a lot of the Devil's Tango. And you guys know I've been doing this for over 2 years now, and it's been honestly insane telling all these stories to you guys. But one thing I will say is that there are a lot of consequences telling these stories on this channel. And the amount of haters I have, don't get me wrong, is over 9,000 at this point. Because everyone at first thought I was a PNG tuber, to people just not liking me because they think the stories are fake. But you guys gotta understand, out of all the haters, I think the biggest hater I've ever had was one girl that actually made the story on. If you guys don't know, basically a while back I told a story about a girl that has a lot of guy friends. It was the most popular story on TikTok in the year 2021, and it's how I think a lot of you guys found this channel. And I remember me telling this story led to a lot of consequences, but I had to keep it on the down low because, well, getting canceled is one of the most scariest things ever. But anyways, let's just get straight into this story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane but sad story. So today is the story about how I almost got canceled. So like I said earlier, I've done a lot of girls on this channel, and I've told a lot of stories about me doing the Devil's Tango. And I remember one time I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, like literally in that year, 2021, and it was when the channel was lifting off, and I remember me and him wanted to celebrate, so we decided to go to a club. I remember at this time I was living in a penthouse that I just moved into, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, it was really lonely because I lived by myself at the time and I didn't have a girlfriend, but still, it was pretty awesome having a really nice view to wake up to every morning thinking, wow, all those girls I told stories of led to this moment. I don't know, that's all thanks to you guys, but that's not the point. Going on, I remember the buddy of mine that I was hanging out with was a really close friend of mine. He was friends with me even before high school, and well, he knew me for who I actually was and didn't really care about the whole clout idea that everyone gets in their head when they meet a big creator. So knowing this, I remember me and him, we started to like hang out at my place, gave him a bit of the tour of the penthouse, and then one thing led to another. I told him, hey bro, so what time are we going to the club? He ended up looking at me saying, yo bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, I reserved a nice seat for you, bro, and it's gonna be at the club literally across the street from here. Oh, sweet, is what I told him. So I remember I ended up getting a really good outfit on and basically wore a lot of Axe cologne and basically got out and got ready to go to this club. When I left the building that my penthouse was in, I remember I just looked across the street and I saw there was a long line going to this club. But luckily, since my buddy reserved the seat, we didn't have to even wait in line. We just walked straight through. And I remember a lot of people were looking at us thinking, why are these guys just walking through? Like, what? They were really confused. But honestly, things just became more cooler by the minute. Everyone was asking me questions when they entered inside the club saying, yo bro, like, did you reserve? Or like, are you someone special? And my buddy that was a friend of mine always decided to interrupt and say, oh yeah bro, like he has 1 million on TikTok. By the way, we're at 2 million now, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for that, but that's not the point. Going on, I remember basically every time we walked up to a girl or every time someone interacted with us, he would always bring it up to the point where I'm not gonna lie, it was cool, but it gets really embarrassing because they end up searching up my page and I literally just talk about doing the Devil's Tango with a bunch of Minecraft on it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Minecraft and I love playing video games, but it might be a little awkward, especially in a club. So I remember I decided to pull him aside and told my buddy, yo listen man, I'm not gonna lie, like I like being told I'm a YouTuber and stuff, but at the same time I don't really want like people like knowing like full on about what I do and stuff. Just say I make content, but don't like tell them specifics. He ended up understanding, and then me and him, we ended up going back inside the club and we started walking around hanging out. But then out of nowhere, I remember when I was heading towards the dance floor, there was one girl that caught my eye in the corner of the room, and she was in the corner because I don't know why, I guess she was having a drink or something. But when I saw her, I remember she gave me the death glare, and at that moment I recognized her eyes. Yes, I recognized her eyes because a lot of girls have like crazy eyes and stuff, and this girl specifically I recognized on the dot. And I remember I was super embarrassed and like worried because when I saw her, I'm like, oh okay, like this is not gonna be good, because I remember I ended up telling the story about her that ended up blowing up all over the place. When she saw me, I remember she pulled her drink aside and decided to walk up to me and said, hey you, I remember you. And I looked at her saying, oh I'm sorry, who are you? You really don't remember me? I'm the girl with a lot of guy friends apparently. At that moment I knew she knew that she saw my story, and I was embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie to you, this was the only moment when I was like, okay, like this is not gonna end well. And let's just say things ended up getting even worse by my buddy walking up to me after he saw me talking to a girl and said, oh yo, I heard you met Bubba. This is my buddy of mine, dude. Like he's really cool and he's a content creator. Yeah, I wish he didn't say that, because then the girl was like now 100% sure of who I was, which I was gonna try to pull off like a stunt of like basically me saying I'm not him. But yeah, no, she knew who I was after that, and she literally looked at me and said, oh, I know who he is, and he talks too much. My buddy looked at me like being really confused, and he's like, wait, what? And then I remember the girl ended up saying, you know, I'm gonna get you like banned. You know that, right? Okay, is what I said. And then afterwards I ended up walking away from her. I remember my buddy kept like asking me questions like, how did that even happen? Like, who is this girl? And kept asking me the question over and over. And when he asked me one final time, yo bro, who's this chick, bro? Why did she hate you so much? I remember I ended up literally, no joke, showing the video of the girl with a lot of guy friends on my TikTok page, and he looked at it and said, wait, that's her? her? Yeah, is what I told him afterwards. And I remember he said, dude, like, you actually, like, make these stories, like, true? Yeah, what, you thought I was faking this? Is what I said. And let's just say it led to things being really awkward. Obviously, we couldn't just leave the club because we had reservations and stuff for a table for, like, almost, like, the rest of the night. So we couldn't just leave it. So I remember what me and my buddy decided to do was basically try to go talk to her and be like, hey, like, I apologize. If you want, we could pay you a cut of, like, how much the video made. Just trying to, like, be nice to her. But she wasn't having it. Every time we would speak to her, she'd be like, no, like, I want your account banned or you take away the story. I'm not gonna take away the story is what I told her, because almost all of you guys enjoyed it, and there's no way I'm just gonna take down a video that did so well. And then I remember she said, well, you have no right to use that story. Actually I do, is what I told her, because if you guys don't know, every story I tell goes through a lawyer, and a lawyer has to verify it just to make sure I don't get an actual lawsuit. Because there was one time where a girl actually tried to, like, basically get me sued, but that's a story for a different time. Anyways, once I realized that this girl wanted to, like, basically, like, get a lawyer and stuff and cause all this drama that doesn't need to be, I remember I ended up telling her, listen, honestly, I didn't use your name in the story. I didn't identify you in any way. You're the only person that actually knows who you are in that story. And if you want to sue me, you can't, because I never said your name nor identify you in any way. That's what my lawyer told me to say if, you know, people, like, get caught up in this situation. So I don't know. Anyways, after that, I remember the girl, like, kept asking me questions like, okay, well, like, you know what? Like, since you got big off my story, you owe me a drink. Wait, what? Is what I said afterwards. But honestly, a drink's better than paying her like $10,000. So I decided to go buy her a drink, and one thing led to another. I won't lie. Yeah, we ended up taking her back to my place, and I ended up doing the Devil's Tango with her. The next morning, I remember she woke up, and then I woke up, and I remember she looked at me and was like, wait, did I pass out here last night? Yeah, is what I told her. I think, because I'm not gonna lie, we both got really wasted. And then I remember she was like, okay, well, I always thought you were cute. And then I remember I was like super awkwarded out, and I'm like, oh, all right. And by the way, I do remember that all throughout the night, her phone was vibrating nonstop on, like, the side table, because no joke, this girl does still have a lot of guy friends. But anyways, I remember I woke up, I ended up bringing her some coffee in bed, and then afterwards, I remember as she was looking around my room and saw my office and stuff, she said, wait, you got a plaque? A YouTube plaque off this? You can actually get that? That was real? Yeah. I guess girl didn't understand what YouTube was really, but honestly, I don't know. One thing led to another. She ended up apologizing for everything, and well, let's just say my biggest hater ended up becoming my friends with benefits for a bit. I don't know, maybe your biggest hater is sometimes your biggest lover, or friends with benefits in my case. Anyways, guys, that's basically it for today's story. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.